Hello, my dear viewers and the rest of the listeners. Welcome for this presentation in which I am going to speak about critical thinking by the topic address every situation through critical thinking. Address every situation through critical thinking. My name is Mema JM, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. What is critical thinking? Critical thinking is your ability to think in an objective, rational, and systematic way concerning an issue, a situation, or a fact, in order to understand it thoroughly and come up with an appropriate action or a logical and informed decision to the best of your ability. It thus enables you to think clearly and rationally by objectively exploring, evaluating, and analyzing the prevailing situation and the facts without any bias or assumption in order to arrive at the most appropriate action. Therefore, this skill is vital for everyone seeking success through any objective and in any field, regardless of one's status in life, because it is his or her ability to analyze any situations objectively and evaluate complex subjects that will grant him or her insights on what to do and what not to do. So, as a critical thinker, you need to rigorously question ideas and assumptions without accepting them at their face value so that you can be able to know whether those ideas, arguments, or findings represent the true picture and are open to new findings. Therefore, as a critical thinker, you need to always identify, analyze, and solve problems in a systematic manner instead of just applying intuition or instincts, as you also challenge your thinking in order to identify any flaws in your reasoning and avoid any biases realized. In fact, through critical thinking, you can be able to understand and address various situations, regardless of whether they are simple or complex, based on all the available facts and information, thus being able to define a problem and develop effective solutions. So, you can never arrive at a concrete solution to problems without being a person that takes adequate time to analyze facts on any issue in order to clearly understand it and come up with quality and effective solutions. This is because any person that never likes to challenge his or her mind to think critically on any issue, he or she always arrives at short solutions to issues that cannot solve any problem concretely because it's guided by one's personal bias, emotions, and assumptions instead of being guided by facts. Therefore, it is extremely dangerous for you to do anything without having processed and analyzed all the available information about it in an effective manner. So, you must always spare some time to reason rationally and objectively on anything before taking any action. This is because through critical thinking, you are able to apply reasoning concerning social issues so as to arrive at informed judgments without bias or prejudice. Through critical thinking, you are able to appraise arguments, you are able to approach problems in a consistent and logical manner. You are also able to arrive at quality decisions that are grounded on adequate empirical evidence. Through critical thinking, you are able to deduce consequences from what you know, and you are also able to detect any inconsistencies and mistakes in your thinking, as well as being able to determine the importance and relevance of arguments and ideas. Critical thinking also enables you or allows you to be able to evaluate arguments and the facts constructively. Critical thinking helps you develop flexible intellectual analytical skills that are ideal for handling changes quickly and effectively. In addition, through critical thinking, you are able to develop new ideas and solutions to problems, and you are also able to enhance your work processes. You are also able to identify any inconsistencies and errors in reasoning. You are able to make decisions based on facts and not based on perceptions or opinions. Through critical thinking, you are also able to reason cooperatively and constructively. You are also able to reflect on your justification for beliefs, assumptions, values, principles, and decisions in order to lead a meaningful life. In addition, through critical thinking, you are able to think clearly and logically, thus being able to solve problems in a systematic manner. You are able to understand the connections between ideas and their relevance. You are also able to work independently by making your own decisions and opinions because you can trust yourself. So, in order for you to be able to think critically, you need to always be able to identify the problem or the situation that influences it. You need to research more on the subject matter so as to know why the problem exists and how it can be solved. You also need to know how to evaluate the matter objectively without any bias by collecting, organizing, and sorting the data and the findings. You also need to develop and execute solutions. You also need to analyze the solutions based on whether they worked before or not. You should also be able to infer and draw the respective conclusions. You should be able to figure out the information which is more important for your consideration. You should be curious to ask open-ended questions in relation to what you see daily or what you are hearing, and also be able to follow up on those questions. You should be able to identify ways to improve the solution. The following are therefore some of the many ways and methods that you can use to improve your critical thinking. Number one is ensuring that you always identify clearly the prevailing issue, its cause, and those affected by it, so that you can be able to analyze it deeply and establish its solutions. For this to be possible, you must always be observant and concerned with whatever that is happening around you, so as to be able to identify what might be a problem or what might be causing the problem. Secondly, you should never take anything literally without establishing the real facts about it in terms of its source, then verifying and evaluating it. For that reason, you should not be a person who just takes any information, even from authority, without having investigated it yourself. Therefore, even if the information is coming from a religious person or from a source that you trust, you should always double check it so that you can be sure of the information. Therefore, whereas somebody may think that you doubt him or her, or that you seem to have lacked trust or faith in him or her for not doing whatever he or she is telling you without double checking it, never take anything literally. Always take time to find out the deeper meaning of what you are told, so that you can be able to know whether to do what the person is requesting or not. Therefore, it does not matter the source of any information, But what is important is for you to scrutinize it so that you can know whether it is true or not. Always make it a habit to investigate anything that may be questionable in order to establish what exactly it is. Always question facts and research about them, because as you do this, you are able to improve on your inquisition skill and enhance your critical thinking skill. Thirdly is identifying and setting aside any form of biases that you may have on any issue before you dive yourself into it, so that they do not influence your approach or perspective on the issue, and be able to see and handle it in an objective manner. Therefore, you should train yourself to be holding serious debates within yourself concerning your thoughts and assumptions in order to be able to see issues from various viewpoints without clouding any issue with your personal biases. Fourthly, be drawing the key summarized points from any amount of information received that clearly spells out the exact meaning of the information received, and then you extrapolate it and discover the outcome from such information. That is, you make an educated guess on what you think is going on and what you think will be the outcome. You can be able to improve on this aspect of inference by gathering as much information as possible on the subject matter or on the issue. Fifth, you should always determine the relevance of any information received by making a consideration concerning the information that is important, because it is not every information that will be important and applicable to your current situation. For this reason, you should always be very clear on the direction that you want to take in handling the matter at hand, or the goal that you want to achieve, so that you can be able to segregate what is important from what is not important at that point in time. Therefore, whenever you have several factors that you can consider in dealing with a situation, you can always make a list of all the factors by writing them down. Then you rank them from the first to the last based on their relevance to the situation, and then you discard those that are least important or irrelevant for the occasion. Number 6 is avoid taking everything presented to you by its face value without questioning about the same. Therefore, it is always important to express some curiosity in relation to what is being presented to you by asking some questions that are why questions about it. So make it a habit to be always asking some open-ended questions on whatever that you encounter, and have time to follow up on the same. If the concerned people cannot be able to prove or justify their actions or their information, or fail to answer your questions, it automatically means that something is wrong somewhere. So make it a habit to always ask open-ended questions whenever you are in doubt, or whenever the deal seems to be so good or so bad. In addition, whenever you come across anything that you are not sure of or about, do not just ignore it simply because it does not concern you, but always endeavor to find out more about what it is and why it is that way. Never let any question that you have vanish without seeking for an answer to it. Number 7, be challenging your thinking by attempting exercises and games that challenge your analytical mental faculties and make you think deeply on what to do in order to arrive at the expected answer or a solution. Such exercises include tackling tough puzzles whose solutions are related to each other, taking some challenging maths that require logical computation to arrive at an answer, among such other practices that can push you into thinking in new ways and making rational decisions. In addition, avoid doing simple things always, or just doing what you are used to, but always come out of your comfort zone to attempt new and challenging tasks that will invoke much of your thinking and reasoning. Number 8, or H, be engaging in difficult situations or discussions that deal with discussing difficult issues, especially those topics that have differing opinions, perspectives, and approaches, and that require presenters to present their ideas in a logical and systematic sequence and without repeating what another presenter has already said. Such discussions can be in form of debates, motions, amongst such other activities. Number 9 is always set for yourself the goals that you want to achieve so that you can be able to work systematically towards achieving them. When you have a predefined goal that you want to achieve, or when working towards arriving at an effective solution or decision, you are bound to think critically. In addition, you also need to be knowledgeable on how to choose the best alternative amongst many alternatives in order to solve a problem or arrive at an effective decision. For this reason, you also need to know how to execute your solution after having identified and analyzed a problem. You can visit Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel and listen to the video by the title, Make Effective Decisions Before Action, which can equip you with knowledge on how to make effective decisions, and the second video by the title, Your Problems, Their Description, Solutions and Benefits, which can equip you with the problem-solving skill. Number 10, you also need to expand on your knowledge and skills on the issues that you want to deal with, because without the necessary adequate knowledge and skills in an area of interest, your level or scope of thinking will also be limited. This is because you cannot be able to identify or analyze what you don't know. For this reason, you should endeavor to enhance your knowledge and skills in areas of interest by undergoing through professional development programs and or training. You can also pursue courses that require critical thinking and analysis within your area of specialization or interest, as well as seeking for facts from the respective experts. This is because the higher the level of skills and knowledge that you have in an area, and the more the information you have around an issue, the better you will be in analyzing the information that you have, and the more informed will be your solutions or decisions. Number 11 is that you should stop thinking just about now or today, but always think about the issue with the focus of several or many years to come. In other words, don't just focus on now, but focus on the future based on what you want to do now. So, whenever you want to do anything, do not just concentrate on what you want to do now or what to gain now and today, but focus on what you want to do today and its impact several years to come. Once you focus your mind on several moves ahead, instead of just focusing on your first move, you'll be able to come up with the plans, not only targeting on how to start achieving your current objectives, but also with your main focus being on how your current achievement will change your future. And therefore, you should think critically about what will happen in the future based on what you want to do now or based on what you are doing at the current moment. For this reason, always think and reason with your mind seeing the reality several or many years to come. Let your expected future become the source of your ideas and actions that you want to undertake or implement now. In other words, always think about the future in whatever that you are thinking about or doing now. Number 11 is always remember to think for yourself. Do not be a person who just waits for others to solve his or her problem or advise him or her on what to do and what not to do. It is good to try to do even what you are not used to alone without anybody's assistance, unless where you cannot be able to make any step ahead by yourself. This also means that even if you do not know how to do something, but you have something that you can be able to do about it, just commence doing it. This is because learning how to do things yourself and by yourself and doing it yourself enables you to gain hands-on knowledge and skills that can drive you into further perfection on the matter. So, avoid getting lost into other people's work, procedures, and ideas, and forget that you also have the mind to think for yourself and by yourself. Always think about anything and everything by yourself as you also seek for more information about it, even before others share their ideas about it with you. However, do not also believe everything that you think, and be careful as you implement your thinking so that it does not cause you pain without any gain or make you lose your life or endanger others' lives. So, if you are thinking on anything, seek for more information on what you are thinking so that you can be sure that your thinking is right. Because even if you've been doing something many times before, that does not mean that it is always right or that it's the only best way to do things or solve the problem. Number 12, always evaluate your writing and train yourself to use your own words and apply your own approach in doing something, but guided by the information that you have been able to gather. For example, you should avoid repeating directly what another person has said or has done, but you can apply the information that you have received from another person in your situation in a different way. So, avoid being a copycat. In addition, be taking time to also evaluate and review your own work in order to determine whether there is room for improvement. You can also be requesting other people to comment on your work, your opinions, and yourself so that you can be aware of areas for improvement. In fact, it is good to be around those people that can challenge you to do something better and critique you and your actions, because that is what can help you improve on yourself and on your work. Those people always tell you, congrats, that's good, and do not highlight any of your weaknesses or areas of improvement. Those kind of people, in fact, other than encouraging you, they do not really challenge you to think harder, to think smart, and to be able to think ahead of your life. In conclusion, the difference between human beings and other animals is that as a human being, like you and me, we were created and bestowed upon us and upon our mind with a higher intellectual quotient than the rest of the animals. This endowment was not just meant to remain unutilized, but it was meant to give us the ability to use our minds in digging into situations so as to gain insight and knowledge on how to overcome challenges and improve our lives and our world. However, many people do not like thinking deeply and logically on every issue, yet even that issue that seems to be simple may require us to challenge ourselves to think about it in an objective, rational, and systematic manner in order to unearth its right solution and purpose. For this reason, you should never take anything lightly or casually just by its face value or believe on anything without facts, but always gather information about it, analyze that information, synthesize it, and evaluate it for its applicability and its effect before taking any action on any given matter. And with critical thinking, you'll be able to address every aspect of your life. Congratulations, my dear viewers and my dear listeners, for listening to this video on critical thinking. To easily access more life skills, motivational and inspirational resources from Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel, click on subscribe button below this video if it's not currently reading as subscribed. You can also access various free resources in ICT or a computer field by searching for and subscribing to Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel if it will not already be reading as subscribed. For any further suggestions, corrections, or queries in relation to this video and other videos posted in either Emily Swap ICT or Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channels, kindly feel free to write it to us through the email emilyswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me, and God bless.